Welcome to the Hidden Wealth Coins. Imagine pulling a simple dollar or penny from your pocket and realizing it could be worth millions. Coins you've spent, ignored, or tossed aside may secretly hold unimaginable wealth. Hidden errors, rare conditions, and forgotten histories have turned ordinary change into life-changing treasures. One careless spend could destroy a fortune. Stay with me, because what you're about to see might already be in your hands right now today, forever unstoppable. First up, the Sacagawea dollar from 2001 carrying the small but powerful P mint mark is one of those coins that most people have touched, spent, or ignored without ever realizing what it could represent. At first glance, it looks ordinary, golden, and simple, yet behind that calm appearance hides a story of history, rarity, and unbelievable potential value. This coin was created to honor Sacagawea, a young Native American woman who played a vital role in American exploration, but over time, certain examples of this dollar have taken on a life of their own. Some versions exist in conditions so rare, so perfectly preserved, or so unusually struck that collectors quietly hunt them with serious money in hand. The shocking truth is that a single coin like this, sitting unnoticed in a drawer, can sometimes be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a lifetime of savings. When the United States introduced the Sacagawea dollar, the goal was not just to replace older dollar coins but to create something meaningful, something symbolic. The golden color was chosen to make it stand out, to feel valuable even before anyone knew its true worth. The 2001 Philadelphia issue came during a time when production numbers, handling methods, and early public reaction created conditions that allowed extraordinary coins to slip through unnoticed. While millions were made, only a tiny fraction survived in flawless or unusual states. These are the coins that collectors dream about, the ones that spark bidding wars, whispered conversations, and private deals that never reach public headlines. What truly elevates the 2001 Sacagawea dollar into legendary territory is condition. Most coins from that year were heavily handled, stacked, transported, and circulated carelessly. Scratches, dull surfaces, and weak details became common. But when a coin somehow escaped all of that damage, when it remained untouched, sharply struck, glowing with original luster, it became something entirely different. In the collector world, perfection changes everything. A single point difference in grading can mean the difference between a few dollars and life-changing money. Coins that appear identical to the untrained eye can have values separated by enormous gaps. There is also the mysterious side of these coins, the part that fuels rumors of million-dollar values. Certain Sacagawea dollars from the early years show unusual characteristics that were never intended. Subtle differences in surface texture, edge details, strike pressure, or planchet quality can turn an ordinary coin into a rare error or special production piece. These variations are not always obvious, which is why so many people unknowingly spend them. To collectors, however, these small differences are powerful. They represent scarcity, and scarcity is the heartbeat of value. History plays a massive role in this coin's appeal. Sacagawea herself represents courage, survival, and guidance during one of the most important explorations in American history. That symbolism gives the coin emotional weight beyond metal and numbers. Collectors do not just buy coins, they buy stories. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar sits at a crossroads of modern minting and historical tribute. It belongs to an era when coinage was changing, when traditional designs met new technology, and that transition period often produces the most desirable collectibles. The idea that a single dollar coin could be worth a fortune sounds impossible to most people, yet coin history is full of similar surprises. Time and again, pieces dismissed as common have later shocked the world when their true rarity was understood. The Sacagawea dollar is still relatively young compared to classic coins, which means its full story is still unfolding. Values grow quietly, slowly, then suddenly. One auction result, one record-breaking sale, can change everything overnight. That is why experienced collectors never rush to sell and never underestimate what they hold. The Philadelphia Mint mark adds another layer of intrigue. Philadelphia has always been the heart of American coin production, and coins from this mint carry a special legacy. When a coin from this mint appears with exceptional quality or unusual features, it commands respect. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar benefits from that reputation. In elite collections, examples from this mint in top condition are treated as centerpieces, not afterthoughts. They are discussed, examined, and admired under magnification, because every tiny detail matters. One of the most dangerous mistakes people make is selling such coins too quickly. A Sacagawea dollar pulled from a roll or found in a forgotten stash may seem like an easy few dollars, but once it leaves your hands, its story is gone forever. Collectors understand patience. They understand that the right buyer, at the right time, can transform a coin into unimaginable wealth. What seems like a small golden dollar today can become tomorrow's headline, the coin that someone almost spent. The market for rare modern coins is unlike anything else. It is global, competitive, and emotional. Serious collectors do not hesitate when they see something special. They act fast, often quietly, because they know opportunities like this do not come often. The Sacagawea dollar, especially from early years like 2001, sits in a sweet spot where rarity, age, and modern interest meet. That combination is powerful, and it is why values can climb far beyond what logic suggests. Another reason this coin fascinates collectors is how easily it hides in plain sight. Unlike silver or gold coins that feel heavy and precious, the Sacagawea dollar blends in. That makes discoveries even more exciting. Stories circulate of people finding pristine examples in old bankrolls, estate collections, or forgotten jars. Each discovery fuels the belief that more treasures are still out there, waiting for the right eyes to notice them. The dream of becoming wealthy overnight is what draws so many people to coin collecting, but the Sacagawea dollar represents something deeper. It shows how history, carelessness, and chance can combine to create value. A coin that passed through countless hands without a second thought can suddenly become priceless because it survived when others did not. That survival is what collectors pay for, not just the coin itself. Understanding this coin means respecting time. Time creates wear, but it also creates rarity. Every year that passes reduces the number of perfect examples. Coins get damaged, lost, melted, or forgotten. The few that remain untouched grow more desirable with each passing year. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar is still early in this process, which is why holding on to a special example can be far more powerful than selling it quickly. For those lucky enough to own one of these coins, knowledge is protection. Never clean it, never polish it, and never rush. The smallest mistake can erase value instantly. Collectors want originality, honesty, and untouched surfaces. What looks like dirt to one person may be proof of authenticity to another. Treating the coin with respect preserves its future potential. In the end, the Sacagawea dollar from 2001 with the Philadelphia mint mark is more than just currency. It is a reminder that value is not always obvious, that history can hide in everyday objects, and that fortune sometimes comes disguised as something ordinary. Second up, the Sacagawea dollar coin from 2001 with the D mint mark carries a silent power that most people never recognize. At first glance, it appears to be just another golden dollar, passed through hands, drawers, and cash registers without a second thought. Yet history has a strange habit of hiding its greatest treasures in the most ordinary forms. This coin represents far more than its face value. It represents a moment in American minting history when change, experimentation, and symbolism collided. For a very small number of these coins, that moment created something extraordinary, something capable of reaching values so high that they feel unreal to the average person. When the Sacagawea dollar was introduced, it marked a shift in how America viewed its coinage. The design honored Sacagawea, a young Native American woman whose role in guiding explorers symbolized courage, intelligence, and survival. The Denver Mint, marked by the small but important D, produced coins during this period under massive demand and intense production pressure. In such environments, perfection becomes rare. Most coins were rushed, handled, transported, and stacked with little concern for long-term preservation. That reality is what makes exceptional survivors from 2001 D so powerful today. Condition is where the story truly begins. The majority of 2001 D Sacagawea dollars show wear, marks, dullness, or weak detail. That is normal. What is not normal is finding one that appears frozen in time, untouched, sharply struck, glowing with original brilliance as if it never entered circulation. These coins exist, but they are unbelievably scarce. In the world of serious collectors, rarity combined with near perfection can push values into territories that sound impossible to outsiders. A coin's value is not measured by how many were made, but by how many survived in extraordinary condition. The Denver Mint adds a special layer to this history. Coins struck there often show unique characteristics that separate them from other mints. Strike strength, surface texture, and minute design details can differ in subtle but important ways. Collectors study these differences obsessively. A 2001 Sacagawea dollar with exceptional clarity in the design, strong edge definition, and flawless surfaces becomes something far beyond common currency. It becomes a benchmark coin, one that sets standards and attracts elite attention. There is also a quiet mystery surrounding certain examples of this coin. Some display unusual traits that were never intended, differences so small that only trained eyes recognize their importance. These are the coins that fuel stories of unimaginable value. Not every rare coin announces itself loudly. Some whisper. They sit unnoticed in collections or jars while the world passes by, waiting for someone who understands what they are holding. That element of chance is what makes the Sacagawea dollar so thrilling to collectors. Coin history teaches us that modern coins can become legends faster than anyone expects. Time does not need centuries to create value. Sometimes it only needs scarcity, demand, and a story. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar sits at the beginning of its journey. Each year that passes reduces the number of pristine examples. Coins are lost, damaged, cleaned, or spent. The survivors grow more valuable simply because they survived. That slow disappearance is what builds million-dollar potential over time. What makes this coin especially dangerous to spend is how ordinary it feels. It does not look like gold, does not shine like silver, and does not carry weight that suggests wealth. That illusion causes people to treat it carelessly. Yet history proves again and again that appearance means nothing in the collector world. Value lives in rarity, preservation, and demand. A single mistake, a single careless sale, can erase the opportunity of a lifetime. Collectors who understand the Sacagawea dollar do not rush. They wait. They know that markets move in waves and that patience separates those who profit from those who regret. When a rare 2001 example appears in exceptional condition, it does not stay available for long. Private sales happen quietly. Prices are discussed behind closed doors. The public often never hears about the true amounts exchanged, which only adds to the legend surrounding these coins. The emotional pull of this coin is just as strong as its financial potential. It represents history that many people overlook. Sacagawea's story, combined with a modern minting experiment, creates a powerful narrative. Collectors are drawn to coins that feel meaningful, coins that represent change rather than repetition. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar carries that meaning, and meaning drives desire. Stories continue to surface of people discovering remarkable examples in unexpected places. Old bankrolls, forgotten collections, inherited boxes, or jars that sat untouched for years. Each discovery reignites excitement and reminds the world that not all treasures are buried underground. Some are already in our homes, waiting to be recognized. That possibility is what keeps people searching and what keeps values climbing. One of the greatest mistakes anyone can make with a potentially rare Sacagawea dollar is trying to improve it. Cleaning, polishing, or altering the coin destroys originality, and originality is everything. Collectors pay for honesty, untouched surfaces, and natural aging. A coin that looks too perfect in the wrong way can lose its power instantly. Respecting the coin preserves its future, and its future may be far greater than its present. The idea that a single dollar coin could change someone's life sounds unbelievable, yet history supports it. Coin collecting is full of stories where ordinary people stumbled upon extraordinary value simply because they paid attention. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar fits perfectly into that tradition. It stands as a reminder that wealth does not always come in obvious forms and that fortune often rewards patience and knowledge. As time moves forward, interest in modern rarities continues to grow. New generations of collectors are entering the market with fresh energy and serious money. They are not limited by tradition. They chase what is rare, what is unique, and what tells a story. The Sacagawea dollar from 2001, especially from the Denver Mint, fits all of those desires. Its story is still being written, and those who hold the right example may one day find themselves holding something far greater than a coin. In the end, this is not just about money. It is about awareness. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar teaches us that history hides in plain sight and that destiny sometimes arrives disguised as pocket change. Spending such a coin without understanding it could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Holding on to it, protecting it, and respecting its story could mean something entirely different. Sometimes, fortune does not knock loudly. Sometimes, it waits quietly in your hand. Third up, the Sacagawea dollar coin from 2002 with the D mint mark is one of those pieces of American history that hides its power behind simplicity. To most people, it is just another golden-colored dollar, easy to overlook and easy to spend. Yet history has proven again and again that the most ordinary-looking objects can carry extraordinary destinies. This coin belongs to a time when the United States was experimenting with modern coinage, blending tradition with change, and during such moments, rare opportunities are born. The 2002 D Sacagawea dollar stands quietly among them, waiting for the right eyes to recognize its true potential. By 2002, the Sacagawea dollar was no longer brand new, yet it was still part of a fragile and uncertain chapter in American coin history. Public interest had already begun to fade, circulation slowed, and many coins never traveled far from their original storage. The Denver Mint continued striking these coins, but the way they were handled, stored, and distributed created conditions where truly exceptional examples became incredibly rare. While millions may have been produced, perfection was not the goal. Survival without flaws was accidental, and accidents are what create legends in the collector world. Condition transforms this coin from common to astonishing. Most 2002 D Sacagawea dollars show dullness, contact marks, weak edges, or surface distractions that immediately limit their value. But a very small number escaped all of that. These coins appear alive, glowing with untouched surfaces, sharp details, and a presence that feels almost unreal for something so modern. In elite collecting circles, such coins are not measured in dollars but in opportunities. When condition reaches the highest level, value no longer follows logic, it follows desire. The Denver Mint's role adds depth to this story. Coins struck there often show subtle differences that only serious collectors notice. The pressure of the strike, the texture of the metal, and the crispness of the design can vary in ways that separate an ordinary coin from an extraordinary one. A 2002 D Sacagawea dollar with exceptional characteristics becomes a conversation piece, studied under magnification and compared against known examples. These comparisons are where reputations are built and where prices quietly climb. Mystery surrounds certain coins from this year. Some examples show unusual traits that were never meant to exist, details that hint at momentary changes in the minting process or brief lapses in quality control. These traits are not dramatic or obvious. They are subtle, almost secret. That secrecy is what gives them power. A coin that looks normal to most people but special to a few becomes priceless to those who understand it. This is how unimaginable value is created. The history of coin collecting teaches us that age alone does not define greatness. Scarcity, survival, and story matter just as much. The 2002 D Sacagawea dollar exists in a narrow window where modern production meets declining circulation interest. Many coins were stored carelessly, spent without thought, or damaged early in life. Every year that passes reduces the number of untouched examples. Time quietly does its work, and rarity grows without anyone noticing. What makes this coin especially dangerous to spend is its disguise. It does not sparkle like precious metal or carry the weight of something valuable. It blends into everyday life, which is why so many are lost forever. Yet history shows that the most expensive mistakes often come from underestimating what we already have. A single careless transaction could erase a future that might have changed everything. Collectors who understand the power of the 2002 D Sacagawea dollar operate patiently and quietly. They know that markets reward restraint. When a truly exceptional coin appears, it does not stay available for long. Private negotiations happen away from public view, and values discussed rarely reach headlines. This silence fuels speculation and legend, making the coin even more desirable over time. The emotional value of this coin cannot be ignored. Sacagawea's image represents guidance, resilience, and courage during a defining moment in American history. That symbolism gives the coin depth beyond numbers. Collectors are drawn to meaning, not just metal. When meaning combines with rarity, the result is powerful. The 2002 D Sacagawea dollar carries both, making it far more than just currency. Stories continue to emerge of people finding remarkable examples in unexpected places. Old collections, forgotten rolls, inherited belongings, or containers untouched for years. Each discovery sends a message that treasures still exist, hiding in plain sight. These stories keep interest alive and push values higher as hope turns into action. One of the worst mistakes anyone can make with a potentially rare Sacagawea dollar is trying to improve its appearance. Cleaning, polishing, or altering the surface destroys authenticity. Collectors value originality above all else. A coin that has remained untouched tells the truth of its journey, and that truth is what commands extraordinary prices. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight feels like a dream, but coin history proves it is not impossible. Ordinary people have discovered extraordinary value simply because they paused and paid attention. The 2002 Sacagawea dollar belongs to that tradition. It reminds us that fortune does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it waits quietly, disguised as something familiar. As modern coin collecting grows, interest in rare contemporary issues continues to rise. New collectors bring new perspectives and strong demand. They seek coins that combine history, scarcity, and mystery. The 2002 Sacagawea dollar fits perfectly into this evolving landscape. Its story is still unfolding, and its peak may still lie ahead. In the end, this coin is not just about money, it is about awareness and respect for history. The 2002 Sacagawea dollar teaches us that value is often hidden where we least expect it. Spending such a coin without understanding it could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Holding it, protecting it, and understanding its story could mean something far greater. Sometimes, the power to change a fortune is already in your hand, you just have to recognize it. Fourth up, the Sacagawea dollar coin from the year 2000 with the D mint mark is one of the most misunderstood pieces of American coinage ever created. To millions of people, it looked like nothing more than a new golden dollar meant for daily spending. But history often hides its greatest secrets inside the most ordinary objects, and this coin is a perfect example of that truth. Born at the very beginning of a new millennium, this coin carries the weight of transition, expectation, and experimentation. Some rare survivors from this year have grown into legends, whispered about among collectors who understand that value is not always loud or obvious. The year 2000 was not just another year in minting history. It symbolized a turning point, a fresh start, and the launch of something new. The Sacagawea dollar entered circulation during a time when the United States was redefining how modern coins should look and feel. The Denver Mint worked under intense pressure to meet demand, producing coins quickly and in massive numbers. In such conditions, perfection becomes accidental rather than intentional. That accident is exactly where extreme value begins to form. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars lived hard lives from the very beginning. They were stacked, transported, and handled without care. They picked up marks, lost their shine, and faded into normalcy. But a tiny number escaped this fate. These coins avoided damage, avoided circulation, and remained untouched. When a coin survives this way, it becomes something else entirely. It stops being currency and starts becoming a relic, a survivor of chaos that collectors later fight to own. Condition is the single most powerful force behind the unbelievable value stories connected to this coin. Two coins struck on the same day, from the same mint, can live completely different destinies. One becomes worn and forgotten. The other remains flawless, glowing with original brilliance, sharp details, and untouched surfaces. That difference can mean the gap between pocket change and life-changing wealth. In the collector world, perfection creates its own reality, and prices follow that reality without mercy. The Denver Mint mark adds depth to this story. Coins from Denver often show unique characteristics that separate them from others. Strike strength, surface texture, and minute details can quietly elevate a coin above the rest. When a 2000 Sacagawea dollar displays exceptional clarity and balance, collectors notice immediately. These are the coins that get pulled aside, studied closely, and remembered. Memory is important, because remembered coins become demanded coins. Mystery also surrounds some examples from the first year of issue. Certain coins show unusual traits that were never meant to exist, created during moments when machines, materials, and timing aligned imperfectly. These traits are often subtle and invisible to casual eyes. That subtlety is what makes them powerful. A coin that hides its rarity is more dangerous to spend and more exciting to discover. It is this hidden nature that fuels stories of unimaginable value. Coin history teaches us that first-year issues carry a special energy. They mark beginnings, experiments, and risks. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar is no exception. It represents the first chapter of a modern design that would later become familiar, but familiarity does not erase importance. In fact, it often increases it. Collectors look back and ask which coin started it all, and first chapters always matter. What makes this coin especially risky to underestimate is how normal it feels. It does not scream wealth. It does not look ancient or precious. It blends into everyday life so perfectly that people forget to question it. History is full of regret born from that exact mistake. Many fortunes were lost not because people lacked opportunity, but because they failed to recognize it in time. Serious collectors approach coins like this with patience and discipline. They understand that markets move slowly, then suddenly. A coin ignored for years can explode in value when demand meets scarcity. When an extraordinary 2000 Sacagawea dollar surfaces, it often disappears quietly into private hands. Prices discussed behind closed doors rarely become public knowledge, which only adds to the legend surrounding these coins. The emotional pull of this coin is impossible to ignore. Sacagawea's image represents guidance, strength, and survival during a defining moment in American history. That symbolism gives the coin meaning beyond metal. Collectors are drawn to stories, not just objects. When a coin carries history, rarity, and emotional weight, it becomes irresistible to those who understand its depth. Stories continue to circulate of people discovering remarkable examples in forgotten places. Old drawers, inherited boxes, unopened rolls, and containers untouched for decades. Each discovery sends shockwaves through the collector community and reminds everyone that treasures still exist in plain sight. These moments keep hope alive and push interest higher with every passing year. One of the most destructive mistakes anyone can make with a potentially rare Sacagawea dollar is trying to improve it. Cleaning, polishing, or altering the surface destroys the very thing collectors value most: originality. An untouched coin tells the truth of its journey. That truth is what commands extraordinary prices. Once altered, that truth is gone forever. The idea that a single dollar coin could change a life sounds unbelievable, yet coin history proves it happens. Ordinary people have stumbled into extraordinary wealth simply because they paused instead of spending. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar belongs to that tradition. It stands as a reminder that fortune does not always arrive wrapped in luxury. Sometimes it arrives disguised as something familiar. As time continues to pass, interest in rare modern coins grows stronger. New collectors bring new energy, new demand, and new money into the market. They search for coins that combine history, scarcity, and mystery. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar fits perfectly into that future. Its story is still unfolding, and its peak value may still lie ahead. In the end, this coin is not just about money. It is about awareness. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar teaches us that value often hides where we least expect it. Spending such a coin without understanding it could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Holding it, protecting it, and respecting its history could mean something far greater. Sometimes, the power to change a fortune is already in your hand. You just have to recognize it. Fifth up, the Sacagawea dollar coin from the year 2000 with the P mint mark is one of those rare pieces of American coin history that quietly carries enormous potential while appearing harmless and ordinary. When it first entered circulation, people treated it like just another dollar, spending it without hesitation, dropping it into jars, or forgetting it in drawers. Yet history has a habit of hiding extraordinary value inside ordinary objects, and this coin proves that truth perfectly. Born at the dawn of a new millennium, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar represents change, hope, and a bold new direction in U.S. coinage, and for a small number of surviving examples, that beginning has turned into unimaginable wealth. The year 2000 was not just a calendar milestone, it marked a psychological shift for an entire nation. The United States Mint introduced the Sacagawea dollar as a symbol of renewal, honoring a woman whose guidance and courage shaped American exploration. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the P mark, played a central role in bringing this vision to life. During this intense production period, speed and quantity mattered far more than long-term preservation. That environment created a sharp divide between coins that were damaged early and coins that somehow escaped untouched, and it is within that divide that legendary value was born. Most 2000p Sacagawea dollars lived rough, forgettable lives. They were stacked in bags, moved by machines, and handled without care. Contact marks appeared quickly, surfaces lost their brilliance, and details softened. But a very small number avoided all of that damage. These coins remained protected, untouched, and visually stunning. When a coin survives in such a state, it stops being normal currency and becomes something far more powerful. It becomes a survivor, and survivors are what collectors pay fortunes to own. Condition is the invisible force that transforms this coin from common to priceless. Two coins can look identical to the average person, yet one may be worth almost nothing while the other could change a life forever. The difference lies in microscopic details, untouched surfaces, and original glow that has never been altered. In the collector world, perfection does not whisper, it roars. When a 2000p Sacagawea dollar reaches the highest levels of preservation, value stops making sense to outsiders and starts following desire instead. The Philadelphia Mint adds another layer of importance to this coin story. As the historic heart of American coin production, coins struck there carry a unique legacy. Collectors often view Philadelphia issues as benchmarks, standards against which others are measured. When a 2000p Sacagawea dollar appears with exceptional quality, it immediately commands attention. These coins are studied, compared, and remembered, and memory is everything in the world of rare coins. There is also an element of mystery surrounding certain examples from this year. Some coins show subtle characteristics that were never intended, created during brief moments when machines, metal, and timing aligned imperfectly. These differences are often invisible to casual eyes, which makes them incredibly dangerous to spend and incredibly exciting to discover. A coin that hides its rarity is often the most valuable of all, because it survives unnoticed while others disappear. Coin history repeatedly shows that first-year issues carry special weight. They represent beginnings, risks, and experiments. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar was the opening chapter of a modern design that would later become familiar, but familiarity does not erase importance. In fact, it often increases it. Collectors look back and ask which coin started the story, and those coins often become the most desired of all. What makes this coin especially risky to underestimate is how ordinary it feels in the hand. It does not shine like precious metal or feel heavy with wealth. It blends into everyday life so perfectly that people forget to question it. Many of history's greatest financial regrets come from moments just like that, moments when opportunity was mistaken for normalcy and spent without a second thought. Serious collectors approach the 2000p Sacagawea dollar with patience and discipline. They understand that markets move slowly, then suddenly. A coin ignored for years can explode in value once demand collides with scarcity. When an extraordinary example appears, it rarely stays on the open market for long. Private deals happen quietly, prices are discussed behind closed doors, and the public often never hears the true numbers involved. The emotional power of this coin cannot be ignored. Sacagawea's image represents guidance, resilience, and survival during a defining moment in American history. That symbolism adds depth to the coin that goes far beyond metal. Collectors do not just buy objects, they buy stories. When a coin carries history, rarity, and emotion together, it becomes irresistible to those who understand its meaning. Stories continue to surface of people discovering remarkable 2000p Sacagawea dollars in forgotten places. Old drawers, inherited boxes, unopened bankrolls, or containers untouched for decades. Each discovery sends shockwaves through the collecting world and reminds everyone that not all treasures are buried underground. Some are already sitting within reach, waiting to be recognized. One of the most damaging mistakes anyone can make with a potentially rare Sacagawea dollar is trying to improve its appearance. Cleaning or polishing destroys originality, and originality is everything. Collectors value honesty in a coin, the untouched surface that tells the truth of its journey. Once that truth is altered, the opportunity is gone forever. The idea that a single dollar coin could make someone wealthy overnight sounds like fantasy, yet coin history proves it has happened before. Ordinary people have stumbled into extraordinary fortunes simply because they paused instead of spending. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar belongs to that tradition. It reminds us that wealth does not always arrive loudly or obviously. Sometimes it arrives quietly, disguised as pocket change. As years pass, interest in rare modern coins continues to grow. New collectors bring new demand and new money into the market. They search for coins that combine history, scarcity, and mystery. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar fits perfectly into that future. Its story is still unfolding, and its greatest value may still lie ahead. In the end, this coin is not just about money. It is about awareness and respect for history. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar teaches us that value often hides where we least expect it. Spending such a coin without understanding it could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Holding it, protecting it, and respecting its story could mean something far greater. Sometimes, the power to change a fortune is already in your hand, you just have to recognize it.